Hello, I'm Simulator Dirk and welcome back to Train Sim World. Today we are still in Germany. We are going to do another scenario for the FlixTrain. And there's the FlixTrain on screen, the green one. We are going to have a go at an ICE or an ICE. And a couple of other different German trains before we head over to the US. So we did have one scenario on the previous episode. This one is called Delays Expected. Welcome to Fulda. Poor weather has been causing delays throughout the day, especially around Hanau. Alright, we'll set up the train. Weather looks fantastic at the moment. Master key on. Reverser to forward. Cut in the train brake. Unlock doors, platform on the left. Headlights on. There's our train. Waiting for departure. I didn't unlock the doors already. Ah, there we go.
Bitte achten Sie auf den Abstand zwischen Zug- und Bahnsteigkante.
Now, FlixRail is an independent operator using an access agreement. Alright, well, lock the doors. Apply some power to get moving. 87 Ks. Our next stop, Frankfurt. That's not for us because it's on the left. You've got to remember, signals in Germany are on the right. Clear, we've got a 140 board coming up. Looks like it's been raining. Clear. Now we've got a 160 coming up, we're not quite there. throttle off here. Starting to go uphill. Might just buy a little bit of throttle just to maintain our speed. Going uphill, so we don't want to lose speed. Signals are relatively close together for a 160k line. Level ground now. So 80 k's to go. Slightly downhill now. Signal not for us. Now we're steeply going uphill. Let's have a look outside. Whoops. There you are. Oops. I was throttling the whole time. We need to be braking. And we're on a 150 coming into a 130. When you're not paying attention and you're just playing tourist. Now, I did watch another video before this episode. Seeing that German DB train reminded me. In the Netherlands, they have an electric multiple unit version of the train that we just saw, the double-decker regional train with the locomotive pushing. And so the guy at LaserJet decided that he wanted to make a Dutch version of that train because the carriages looked pretty similar. The German double-decker carriages looked pretty similar to the Dutch train. So he spent some time in livery editor, and he spent some time looking at the various carriages and doing it into the colours of the Dutch trains. So it's basically yellow with blue highlights and a grey roof. And so it looked great. You know, obviously you couldn't do things like the logos or whatever, but you would think that it's a pretty good representation of that Dutch train. And in fact, I have ridden on that Dutch train, and I think I may have even played it on Train Simulator Classic. So he's built the whole train, 5 or 6 carriages, with a train cab at either end, puts it on the track somewhere in Germany because he thinks, well, we might as well use a German line because that's where the train came from. And we've got a 140 coming up, so let's do it. Put it on the track, set the cab up because there is a cab at either end. So let's set the train up. Beautiful. Lights on, everything like that, keyed in, reversed to forward, all that sort of stuff. Okay, the train's not going. And I don't know why the train's not going. Have we had a penalty or something? Because we are going awfully slow. Clear. Now we're picking up speed again. I don't know what happened there. So it's like, okay, cut in, lights on. Hang on, where did that 110 come from? I should be using train loco brake. There we go. So he doesn't realise what he's actually done yet. His train can't move. Brakes are off, reverse is in forward. He's powering. And then he thinks, maybe I've got to put the pantograph up. Now the pantograph takes the energy from the overhead wires and puts it into the train. Let's push the pantograph up button, pushes it. Looks outside. So this is the train that's coming up. And there's a loco at the end, providing all the power. So pantograph up. Nothing seems to have changed. He has a look outside his train. Realises that his train doesn't have pantographs because effectively they're all trailer cars. And as we just saw in that example when that train passed us, the loco provides all the power to either pull or push depending on which way he's going. So he spent all of this time, it looked really good. He spent all of this time to have a Dutch looking train with the colours and everything, looked rather sweet. But there was no way that train was ever going to power because it didn't have a logo. Another thing that I discovered watching another video is and I'm going to have to do this to show you what I was talking about in another video in this batch. Guard mode on the Class 350 in England. And, you know, all of the people that I've seen so far do guards mode didn't do it from the crew compartment like I was doing it for the majority of the time. So I'm going to have to do another episode and only do it from the passenger compartment from the local door, because that way you can give the driver then goes on the buzzer, not straight away if you do it from the crew compartment apparently. Another thing that I discovered, and as we discovered in that episode, is that the lights weren't on. And so I was looking in the crew cab for something as simple as a lights on button. Either in the crew cab that I was in or the crew cab where the driver was. Because don't forget, we're operating in guard mode. So I'm looking all around and I can't see something as simple as a switch or a button that says lights on. I found it. It was on the screen in the driver's cab to the right hand side of the driver. So the only way you'll turn the lights on is if you go to that screen. And you can effectively do the driver's work for them and turn the lights on. And not only are they full light, you can turn it on to full lights or half lights. So I'm going to have to, and that's also a good thing to remember when because I don't think, no, I wouldn't have done that either when I was driving the Class 350. That's a thing that they don't tell you in the tutorial. And who looks up the instruction manual? Now, I'm not driving the one type of train enough to think, oh, gee, I really want to figure out where the lights are. I'm going to read the manual if there is one. We've got a 110 board coming up. We're 57 kilometres an hour away from Frankfurt. So we discover where the lights are on the screen on the right hand wall beside the driver. 160 board coming up. There we go, the whole train's past the board now. Certainly going much better than the previous episode where we had to rescue a freight train, abandon our passengers, cut off the loco, drive to the breakdown, haul the freight train into the siding, and then it says, oh, by the way, we found another loco for your passengers, game over, or scenario over. Actually, yeah, we'll drive that train actually next. That's the type of train that I was talking about. With the exception of the loco, that looks a very similar size to the electric trains that are now operating on the Peninsula line between San Francisco and San Jose. So we're going downhill, so there's no real need to power at the moment. We're about 50 k's from Frankfurt. And a 150 board coming up. So probably at the next signal we'll start braking for it. Of course, I don't have road knowledge, so I'm relying on the heads-up display, the HUD. In the real world, of course, you'd have road knowledge. Starting to go uphill, so it's probably just for this curve is the reason for the 140 board. Then we'll come back onto a 160, so we're going uphill, we've reduced our speed. We're on a 150 board, there's a 160 board coming. There's a 160 board. For some reason they only write it as 16 on the sign, not 160. We've got a 60 board coming and we're still 46 k's away. Well, that 60 disappeared, seemingly. Well, that was weird. There's a 160 board there now. 140 board coming up, so we'll brake for it. And there's a 130 board coming up, so we'll brake for that at the same time. Coming up. Then, oh, that was weird. There's the train we're talking about. You would think that they'd be able to make that into a multiple unit. 160 board around the corner. There we go. Wait for the whole train to pass it, which it has. Driven 193 kilometres in the BR193 Vectron. Slightly downhill, we'll shut off. Pardon me. wonder if we'll see some multiple unit electric trains, electric multiple units, seeing as though we're getting closer to Frankfurt now. Oh, there's a 200 board coming up. So a little bit past the next station is the 200 board. Coming up, so it will just show 20. And there it is. Seems weird that we're so close to Frankfurt, but we're hitting 200. Well, we're hitting 200. Uphill. Now we've leveled out. 190. Meow. The ice trains can go faster than 200, which will be coming up with a new episode soon. .30 k's from Frankfurt. Trying not to look at the heads-up display, but it's pretty bad when you can see some red on there and it goes green-red. Yeah, that's definitely some sort of caution signal. Because it wasn't green. green. That's going green. So what that has done, that's like, oh, there is something ahead of us now. So if we have a look at the screen, so maybe you can switch between systems in the real world. Like there's a German flag there. Comes up to speed again pretty quickly. Green. Almost at 160. There's a 110 coming up anyway, so we'll continue to brake for it. 20 k's out from Frankfurt now. It's definitely a caution signal. Take the brakes off. We know our next signal should be at could be at stop. I'm trying not to take notice of the HUD. So we're 19 kilometres from Frankfurt. There's a warning for 100 board. So timetable goes out the window. What's German for good afternoon, by the way? No, guten Tag, hello, and guten Morgen is good morning. And that signal's definitely stop. Ah, just changed to another caution signal. So we're not going to worry about the fact that we're on 110 board, that there's 100 board coming up. Not looking at the hard. Just cruising into this, cruising in. Looking for the next signal. I know there's a station coming up and the signal's after the station. So there's the station. It's a very narrow platform. Can't quite see the signal yet. Okay, signal's clear. Up the speed pretty quickly. Not for me, the one on the left. One on the right. That's clear. 110 board coming up. I recognise that bridge. K's out from Frankfurt now. Right, 160 now. K's out from Frankfurt and we're still going to be doing 160. downhill climb. Hang on, a steep downhill climb, that doesn't make sense. A steep descent. Then we're going uphill again. Still under the 150. So after the platform is 110. Under 5Ks to go now, clear. So we're going on to a 150. There's a 140 coming up. Then we've got a couple of 80s. Because we'll be coming into Frankfurt. 3Ks to go now. Warning a survivor the platform on the 80, I'm not sure. There's definitely a caution signal warning us of the 80s. Which we're going under now. So we're a kilometre out. And we're going uphill. 80 board coming up. We're on the 80 board now, switching tracks. All right, 600 meters. Coming in nicely, platform on the left, onto platform 7. Coming into Frankfurt. Shouldn't be braking like that. door open. Nice work. Let's see how you did. Gold medal performance. Only tiny bits of speeding here and there. 52 minutes to drive 99 kilometres. Delays expected. Well, the only delays were really a couple of periods, couple of short periods with caution signals, but it wasn't anywhere near as hard as I was expecting. Anywho, let's have a look at what we're going to do next. So we've driven the FlixTrain, we've driven the Pendolino. So next I think we're going to go onto the regional train that I was talking about. Then we might drive the ice, then we might drive a local train and then head to America. So that scenario wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Not the 423 or the Talent. All right. Frankfurt Ferry. Bring it. That's only 10 minutes. Yeah, we might do that one. Storm Trail. Keep the vital local train service going amidst a worsening autumn storm. Anywho, I have been Simulator Dirk. You have been wonderful. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Ta-ta and farewell.